There you go.
All right, we are live. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Welcome, good evening, and welcome to A Drop in a Bucket, You Can Make Magic. I'm Sandy. I'm the owner of Live Eat Play Nashville, and I'm here with Joe Turner. And Joe is going to be entertaining us tonight with some amazing magic tricks. Joe is an accomplished performer. He's been on Nightline, CNN, Good Morning America, and he's also performed for the Home Depot and Uber. He has corporate events. If you would enjoy having him at your corporate event, you can find him at turnermagic.com. The ultimate goal tonight is to raise money for Charity Water. Charity Water is a wonderful organization that builds wells in third world nations. And the idea is if everybody just does a little bit, together we can do amazing things. So sometimes issues like water not being available feels like it's too big for us to handle. But if we all just gave a little bit, I mean, with over 1 million people just in Nashville alone, if everybody literally gave $1, we could do an amazing amount of good. So that is the goal tonight. If you go to liveeatplaynashville.com on the homepage, you'll see a link that says click here. That will take you to all the information where you can donate to Charity Water, and we would appreciate that so much. Okay, what else do I need to tell you? Joe, oh, I do need to tell you, if you have 4 playing cards at home, grab those 4 playing cards. You're going to need them for a trick later in the show. Be aware that you will be giving those up permanently because you'll be ripping them. So if you don't want to give them up, then be aware of that. Okay, Joe, did I miss anything? I think we're good to go. So without further ado, Joe M. Turner.
All right. Hi, everyone. It's great to be here and to see all of you on Zoom and Facebook, and we've got a live audience. This will be my first time to do sort of a live plus live stream. We are at Party Foul on Lebanon Pike in Donaldson, Tennessee. And so people are eating and drinking, and you can hear, listen to this crowd, they're celebrating. And all of you at home, if you can see or hear me, please give me some kind of signal so that I can tell on Zoom that we've got a good feed and everybody can see and hear everything. Are we good? Turn your video on, if you will, or put something in the chat so I can make sure that we're all good on Zoom. Fantastic. Well, let's get started. As you heard earlier, I do quite a lot of magic. It has taken me around the world. And as a magician, I get asked a lot of questions about how things work and how does this happen. I think it's really interesting when people think of magicians, one of the primary things they think of is making things disappear. Can you, could you make this disappear? Could you make the check disappear? Could you make my wife disappear? But here's the question. Here's the question. When things disappear, where do they go? I think I know. I think they go in here. I think they go into this strange looking portal. It is made of some kind of PVC plastic. It's not much. It packs really flat. But inside, I think it maybe transports people to another dimension. I don't know how. This is decorated with brain waves. These are actually somebody's brain waves. I think this side is more like me, kind of dense, kind of uptight, kind of tightly wound. And I think this side is someone a little looser, maybe. I don't know. It looks like a little CBD damage down there. I'm not sure what's going on with that. But here's the thing, how it works. We can take anything that we want and put it into this other dimension. And once we put it in there, it vanishes completely. And if you reach inside there, you can rummage around inside. You may have to dodge around some old socks or the drinks that you lost in the cooler or whatever was at the bottom of the freezer, I don't know. But you can find it. Now I want to show it to you again so you can see. As soon as it goes in, it completely disappears. And if I reach inside, I can find it and pull it right back out. You know, in some cultures, when the shaman bends the laws of nature for the entertainment of the tribe, they respond by making noises with their hands. I think that's a lovely tradition. We should totally steal it. So here, people think that the ball disappears as soon as it goes through the portal. It doesn't. I have to actually let go, and that's when it completely disappears. And you can see that it reappears right there. And this is the clapping part. Well, actually, I think I found that bottle of champagne that I lost as well. So there you go. That's for after the show. We're going to have this already. All right. Well, here is something fun. People always say that they wouldn't want to play cards with me. They see that I do some card magic. And so I'm going to show you some card magic now. And I'm going to show you really how I would like to play poker. This is how, in Joe's imaginary world, this is how it works to play poker. I've watched quite a lot of television over the last 7 or 8 months. I'm sure all of us have. I've watched some Netflix. I watched all of Netflix. I watched the whole thing, and Amazon Prime, and working my way through Hulu now. So here's the thing. I watched some of that poker on television where they play the World Championship of Poker, and I always wondered, what are they thinking about when they're playing poker? Are they thinking about the odds and the statistics and the strategy and what they have to do? And I really think that's not what they're thinking about at all. I think they're thinking about things that make them happy. Maybe it brings them luck. Maybe it relaxes them. For me, it would be show tunes. Yeah, it's true. I listen. Does the bow tie give it away? I listen to a lot of show tunes. Let me show you what I mean. We're going to play some cards, and I'm going to ask some people online, if we have some people online, to participate. And then we've got people live. I do have a deck of playing cards. You can see that. I'm going to spotlight myself so I can see everything that's going on. And we have a glass. Nothing too sneaky about that, but that's just to keep me from doing any sneaky sleight of hand. Let's just give these a shuffle so they're not in any kind of order that I could have predicted. So what's going to happen, that's a good card on the front, is some of the cards are going to go into your hand, and some of the cards are going to go into my hand. So some of the cards will be for you, and some of the cards will be for me. And we're going to deal them from random parts of the deck. For example, I forgot to burn some cards. Isn't that what they do? They burn some cards from the top, and they burn some cards from the bottom, and that way I can't have controlled anything. So the way it's going to work is this. I'm going to ask some of you to think of your favorite musical group or singer or Broadway show or best concert you ever saw. We're going to ask several of you. Like for me, if it was the Phantom of the Opera, I would go the Phantom of the Opera, and then we would deal a card from that point for each of us. And it doesn't have to be a Broadway show. If it could be Tina Turner, right? Or it could be Michael Jackson, or it could just be Thriller. It could be one word. It could be anything. So we'll do with anything anybody wants to do. In fact, we're going to start with the gentleman right there against the wall with the very Nike hat. Hi, what's your name?
Ian.
Ian. What's your favorite musical group?
The Temptations.
The Temptations. An excellent choice. A man of refined musical taste. Very good. And so with the Temptations, that means we're going to deal from this point. Should this go to my hand or yours?
Mine.
So that goes to yours, and this one goes to mine. Excellent. And now let's go to the other gentleman. What's your name, sir?
Joe.
Joe. What's your song or musical group or Broadway show or whatever?
Beatles.
The Beatles. Very good. And so we'll deal from this point. Would the next card go to me or to you?
Me.
That goes to you, and this one goes to me. Very good. And how about the lady against the window with the braids and the mask underneath? What's your name? Pooh. That's charming. My name is Joe. So very close. We have. What's your musician, song, or musical group? I'm sorry? I couldn't hear what was said. How many words is that? 2, 3. I'm sorry, folks watching at home. I'm getting older and I'm finding it more difficult to hear. And so we don't three. So should the next card go to me or to you? Should this go to you or to me? That goes to you, and this one goes to me. Very good. And how about the gentleman enjoying his soda right there, shaking his head like he doesn't want to play? That's right. What's your name a song or a musical group? And do it loud and clear enough for an old guy. Anybody? A musician? You don't listen to music? Michael Jackson. Should the next card go to you or to me?
You.
This one, oh, you switched up. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. We need one more. How about the young man right here? What's your name, sir? Kristen. And what's your favorite song or musical group or Broadway show or anything like that? What's your song that you like to listen to? Ooh, people are blanking out on me tonight. I'm like, here's the weird thing. I'm in Nashville. It's Music City. This is the last thing I expected to happen. Is people, they're just overwhelmed with the music. Did you pick somebody? How about you, sir? For crying out loud. Aretha, thank God. There you go. Aretha Franklin. And so the next card, should this go to me or to you? This one goes to me. Oh, thank you. Well, that means this one goes to you. Okay. So that means that we've dealt each other 5 cards apiece. Each one of these are the cards you could have had. We skipped over them. These are the cards that you dealt to me. And these are the cards that you dealt to yourself. So let's take a look and see what you got. A 5 of hearts. It's not an ace, but you can work with it. Let's see what happens next. A 10 of hearts. So we're not going to make a straight, but we have a possible flush underway. 10 of hearts. And then here we have, a 9 of diamonds. So that just blew it, really. The 9 of diamonds is not really helping anybody. Let's take a look at the next one. A 2 of hearts. Oh, we're back on our, oh man, that's, oh. Well, all we can go for now is a pair. Let's just see if we got any. Oh, we got a deuce. We got a 2. So you got a pair of 2s. So that's not bad. A pair of 2s when you're playing, stud poker like this isn't bad. These are the cards that you put in my hand. And just for fun, you gave me a 10 of spades, and you gave me a jack of spades, and you gave me a queen of spades, and a king of spades, and an ace of spades, and that means that I win, because I was thinking of show tunes. Very good. Hey, give yourself a big round of applause. Oh my gosh. Can you see that I have fun with what I do? Now, here's the thing. I'm here in Nashville. I live in Metro Atlanta. I grew up in Mississippi. I've spent my whole life in the South. I do a lot of corporate events, but from time to time, I work in maybe church groups or faith-based organizations. And I always try to be really, really careful that nobody thinks I'm claiming to be able to read their mind or do wizardry or sorcery. What you're seeing is an illusion. I'm not trying to mess up your worldview or anything like that. We're just here to have fun with visual special effects. And whenever I want to explain the meaning of the word illusion, I like to use this particular one. And I did have a feeling there would be some kids here tonight, which there are. So I brought some rope, because I'm a parent. And some nights it's either this or Benadryl. I'm kidding. I'm mostly kidding. I have 3 pieces of rope. I have a very small, tiny piece of rope. And then I have a medium-sized piece of rope. And then I have this rather long piece of rope. I'm going to create. Does anyone know what an illusion is? An illusion is something that looks one way, but the truth is there's something else going on. Truth is it's something else is happening. I'm going to create that illusion with these 3 ropes. I'm going to create the illusion that they are all the same length. I know. Stop, you think. That can't be done. Well, I will try. Now, if I had long enough arms, I could do it with perspective. I could put that one really far away and put this one really close, and they would come out even. But I don't have enough room for that, even on Zoom. So we'll do it this way. If we start them at the same location, then we take the other ends and we make them go through my hand and they end at the same place. So if they start in about the same spot and they end in the same spot, then mathematically, it stands to reason they should be the same way. It's just kind of this part that gives it away. I know, pretend you don't see that. No, it's, seriously, if you hide that part in your hand, look what happens. It becomes an optical illusion. It looks like they start there and go through my hand and come out the other side. So it looks like they are the same. You know they're not. You saw them earlier, but it looks like they're the same. I'm hiding one tiny piece of information, and it changes the way you see the whole situation. If you withhold one little bit of knowledge, it can change your understanding of the whole situation. That's the first lesson of illusions. You can't always believe what you think you see. The second lesson of illusions is this. Some illusions are more convincing than others. And there's 1, 2, and 3 pieces of rope. There's rope 1, rope dos, and rope C. And that covers everyone. 3 pieces of rope all about the time. Oh, thank you. For the people on Zoom, that's not even recorded. That is real, actual people. Now, I don't need 3 pieces of rope for this tonight. I only need 2 pieces of rope. I only need 1. So everybody take a deep breath, and we'll just blow right here where the ends melt together, right in front of your eye. And then I have 1 really long piece of rope, so I can do the illusion I plan to do, which is this silver hoop. It uses this beautiful silver hoop. There's 2 ways to describe this situation. You can say the rope is going through the ring, or you can say the ring is on the rope. Both of those are true. I like to say the ring is on the rope, because that lets me do a different illusion. I'll show you the second lesson. We tie it on there. So here we are. That is safe for everyone. I'm going to create the illusion that the ring is off the rope. So you can see the ring is on the rope. It is on, and off. See, on, off. Okay, that's not really magic. That's semantics. But that is just proof that words can also be used to create illusions. They can deceive you. When I said the ring was going to come off the rope, you thought that it might melt through the fibers of the rope and completely come free of the knot. I know we did it. Let me try it again. Raise your hand if you'd like to see the ring go through the rope one more time. Raise your hand. Of course you would. It's a magic trick. So watch carefully. We'll take the ring, we'll throw it through the air, and it will land on the other side of the knot where it will melt right through this cotton poly rope. Watch carefully. 1, 2, 3. And it lands right on the other side. Now, this is a room full of very smart people, young and less young. And I know you all know there's no way to get a ring off of a rope like this unless you untie it and slide it off one of the ends. But that is the problem with this particular rope, is that I don't think this is American rope. I think this is some kind of cheap import. And the reason I think that is because the ends are defective. They come off of the rope. And if I have the ends here and nothing but middle here, there's no way I can ever get the ring off the end. So I'm stuck. So what I'm going to have to do instead is take the ends here and the middle here. And how about you, sir, in the corner? You'll just say stop anywhere. Right there at that spot is where he said stop. That's the spot where the ends will melt back onto the rope. So watch carefully as you see. Right out there in your middle, right before your eyes, you can see the ends melting right back on to the rope. Makes it easy to get the ring off. I'll wait for the applause to die. Now, I can tell you're tired of this. I'm tired of this trick too. So why don't we go back this? We didn't start with 1 rope. We actually had 2. So we'll take these 2 and just give it a little snip. We're back to 2. Oh, you're right. We had 3. I forgot, man. I'm being judged in the corner. That's okay. You're not the first. I had 1, 2, 3 pieces of rope. But you may recall at the beginning, they did not look like, they just looked like they were all the same size. 1, 2, 3. You know, they were not all the same size. They just looked like it. If I pull them back through this portal, you can see that they go back to the sizes they started with. And that is a pretty good illusion. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, we're going to set this down, and now it is time for me to try a different branch of the illusion arts. And this is what we call mentalism. In some of my live shows, I'll dive a little deeper into this, the idea of mind reading. I don't believe in it for real. I don't believe people can really read each other's. I've been married 25 years. If it were true, I would have discovered it by now, I'm sure. But my wife knows very well I can't read her mind, although she can usually read mine. But I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. And in order to do that, I'm going to need these. You're not going to be playing a guessing game with these. No. What I did is before I drove up to Nashville today, I decided to rely on some geometric principles and some color psychology to make some predictions about some things. So I have a red circle right there, and I have a yellow triangle right there, and I have a green square right there. Red, yellow, green, circle, triangle, and square. I'll just put those there. And I'm going to ask, let's see, I interacted with a gentleman last, so let's go with a lady this time. How about the lady absolutely refusing to make eye contact with me? Oh, hi there, yes. Hi there. What's your name? Autumn, you don't have to come up. I'm just going to ask you, would you choose red, yellow, or green? Circle, triangle, or square? You went with the square. Well, that is interesting because I told you I printed something on the square, and it says, you will choose the square. I didn't say it was a good prediction, I just said it was an accurate prediction. But the lady chose the square. How about the gentleman who's eating a French fry? You can pick the circle or the triangle. Would you pick circle or triangle? You're going for the circle. You're not going to believe this, but if we take my prediction out of here, it says, you will choose the circle. I'm sensing some disappointment in this, but that means that you left me with the triangle. And that's fine because it says I will be left with the triangle. The lady will choose the square, and the man will have the circle. And so now I think it goes to show. So maybe you do have to worry a little bit about what you're thinking about after all. So let's set this down. Let's do some close-up magic. In order to do some close-up magic, I'm going to switch to a different camera. So don't go anywhere. Watch carefully. We're going to come over to a different camera. Hi there. Can everyone see? We're going to come down right here onto my table so that everyone can see as we do some close-up magic. Spin this around. Excellent. I have, what a surprise! If you're in the room and you want to see this up close, feel free to get this on your device. You can go to turnermagic.com/tickets, and there's a link to the Zoom meeting if you haven't gotten it. So we're going to do something that uses a pack of playing cards. We'll set that down because we don't need that right now. And you can see that it is a regular pack of playing cards, about 52. Actually, I think I have the jokers in there, so there would be 54. And in order to do this, I need someone to choose a card. So I'm going to riffle down the pack like this so everyone can see that they are all different. And I'll ask Sandy right here, you don't have to come up, just as you see the cards go by, say stop anywhere. Stop. Okay, now you can see that one. You can see that is the 7 of diamonds. I don't want to take one that we already know, so we're going to take the one out that was right past it. So you can see that of all the cards, this is the one that you've chosen. So we're going to take it out and put it right over here, next to the box. Oh, I should have mentioned, I have some other cards. It's from another deck. And I'm going to put them under the box, so they'll be protected for later. Excellent. So here's the recap. We've got a card selected, and my job is to find out what it is. I'm going to do that by asking Sandy a few questions that she has no idea. We haven't prearranged anything tonight. So let's do this. I'd like you to think of the name of a person that I couldn't possibly know. Maybe a friend from school or college, or someone you've worked with in the past, maybe the name of your first boss, but a person's name that I could not have known you were going to say before we came here tonight. What's that person's name? Jim. You're very good. So what's going to happen is I want you to think about how Jim would answer these questions. All right? That's going to help me identify your card. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to give you some choices, and you're going to pick a card, and I'll deduce from your choices what he might have said. So let's just spread through, and you can see, we'll go with these. We've got a 5 and a 4. 4 of diamonds and 5 of spades. Which of those do you think Jim would have chosen?
5 of spades.
The 5 of spades? You seem a little hesitant on that, but I'll roll with it. Let's try these two. Let's try two black cards, a queen of spades or a 2 of clubs. Which would you choose, the 2 or the queen?
The 2.
Really? You went for the lower card this time?
Yeah.
We'll try it. How about, we'll go with these. How about the joker or the 8 of clubs? What do you think Jim would choose?
Tough call, Joe. I'm going to go with the joker.
You think he would choose the joker?
We're going to go with the joker.
Okay, well, we'll drop a card. It's okay. We don't need it. So these are the cards that you think Jim would have chosen out of all of that. That's very interesting. I'm looking at these and I see a diamond, a spade, a club, and a wild card. So of these 4, you could have one of every suit. But the only color that you have a complete set of is the black cards. You have a spade and a club that you've chosen. And I also say that you've chosen a 5 and a 2. So if I add those together, I get a 7. And you put the 2 on top. So between those 2, I would say that you probably chose a 7 of clubs. And let's just take a look over here and see.
Oh my God.
You said choose a 7 of clubs, which is pretty cool. People don't seem so impressed by that, but I'm going to show you that I also wrote on the back of this card case that you would choose the 7 of clubs. I'll wait for the applause to run down. Well, I guess technically you didn't choose the 7 of clubs. Technically, well, you sort of did at the beginning, but it was Jim who helped us. And that's the weird thing, because you remember I put these cards on the table before we started anything at all. And if you take a look, if I spread through them, you will see that Jim's name is written on the cards. So that's kind of freaking me out a little bit. I hope it's freaking you out just as well. How about a round of applause for Jim? Who's coming in here? Come on, that was awesome. I love that one. We're going to switch back to the other. If you haven't got 4 playing cards, 4 random playing cards, get them now, because we're about to do something really fun and interactive. And you're going to need 4. If you don't have 4 playing cards, get 4 business cards and write A, B, C, D on them, or 4 pieces of paper. Just take a piece of paper, rip it into 4 pieces, and write an A, a B, a C, and a D on it. Because you're going to need those pieces in order to follow along with the illusion that we're about to do together. I'm going to switch back to the other camera. And I've got 4 cards. And they don't have to be any kind of special card. They just need to be 4 different cards. I happen to have a club, a heart, a diamond, and a spade. But if you had all the same, it would be fine, as long as it was, 2, 5, 10, jack. As long as it's 4 different cards. I'm going to turn the brightness down on this just a little bit, because I'm washing out a little bit on my screen. And tell me if that helps. Oh, it does a little bit. So there we go. Can everybody in the room see the cards? You've got your card. If you've got a duplicate, then trade with someone, because these cards, and they don't all have to be the same on the back. They can be blue, red, green, whatever they are. So mix them up. Take your cards, mix them up. This entire illusion is all about following instructions. So you have to follow, listen closely, mix, mix, mix until you're happy. And then, when you're done, fold the cards in half. Fold them like tacos, not like hot dogs. Fold them, short end to short end. And you'll make like a little house like that. See that? Isn't that fun? It's almost like origami, but not really. Because that's all the folding. Now I want you to take it and flip it back and forth like a butterfly. So you're weakening it. Yeah, hold on to them. Hold on. Make sure you've got them all stacked up neatly and you're just folding them back and forth. And now the hardest part, I want you to tear the cards right along the folded crease. And then hold on to them. So you got one stack in each hand. Okay? Very good. Now you get to make a decision. You can put the right cards on the left cards, or you can put the left cards on the right cards. It's your choice, but just put them together so that you have one stack like this. Everybody's with me, I see. Everybody's, oh, we're still tearing, and then stack them up like that. So now you have this little tiny deck of cards. And we're going to follow some instructions with me, so watch carefully. Just gently spread over the top 3 pieces. The top 3 pieces. And then stick them in the middle of your deck somewhere. So just put them in the middle. All 3 of them. So just spread over 3 and stick them in the middle of your stack. That's very good. Now take the next piece and don't look at it. Don't look at it. Put it under your leg or in your pocket or somewhere you can get to it later. All right? Somewhere safe. That'll be for later. Now, take the next piece on top and put it in the middle of your stack anywhere you like. So it's your choice. Now, you get to choose. You can either take 2 pieces off the top or 3 pieces off the top. Your choice. 2 or 3. And trade them with someone sitting close to you. And if you give them 2 and they give you 3, that's fine. Or vice versa. And then take the ones they gave you, turn them face up, and stick them in the middle of your stack anywhere you like. Very good. Do I need to slow down? Oh, this is a bad time to, holy smokes. Okay, we're just going to keep going. So now, you get to take the piece on top, or the 2 pieces on top, your choice, and throw them away. Put them on the table, that's fine. Now take any of the pieces on the table and stick it in the middle of your stack. And now if you want to, after you do that, if you want to, take the top piece and trade it with someone else, you can. Or if you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm not making you do this. We're all here for fun. And I'm just going to keep mine. Now, at this point, we've made all these different decisions. I don't think any of us believe that any possible magic could happen from this. But I think it might. So I'm going to say we should believe in this. We're going to spell the word believe, moving a card from the top to the bottom of our packet for each letter. Now, I know we all have different numbers of cards at this point, but it's okay. Just follow along. Top card goes B, E, L, I, E, V, E. Stop right there. Take the next card on top, move it to the bottom, and say, I believe. Now take the one that's on top and throw it away. Now take the one that's on top and move it to the bottom and say, I believe.
I believe.
Now take the one that's on top and throw it away. And we're going to keep doing that until you get down to one piece. Top piece to the bottom, I believe. New top piece, throw it away. If you're with one card, stop there. If you don't, keep going. Top piece to the bottom, I believe. Next piece, throw it away. That leaves you with one piece. Take a look at that piece. And now look at the random piece that you set aside only a few moments ago, and you will see that they match perfectly. Thank you very much. All that we're saying by that is that even though each of us can take different paths and make our own decisions, and it looks like we may have a different way of doing things than the person next to us. If we believe on something and we believe in a common goal, we can achieve magic. That's really what this illustrates, is that even though we're making our own decisions, we can still achieve something magical if we focus on a common goal. And to tell us more about that, I'd like to bring back up Sandy Ziegler, who is going to tell us a little bit more about how you can help. So please welcome her back to the stage. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for coming. I really appreciate you. Thank you for coming. I really appreciate you. We're going to play a short video about Charity Water, but I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the charity. They have an amazing setup where all of their administrative costs are covered by a donor, so that literally every dollar that is donated goes directly towards building a well. So we would really appreciate it if you even just give $1. Like I said, if everybody just does a little bit, together we can do amazing things. So we're gonna play the video. Just 1 second. Live stream, I can start tap dancing.
No, it's okay. We're trying to get this all to go.
Sorry about this.
No one,
Here we go.
no man, no woman, no child should ever have to drink
All right.
green water with bugs, with algae, with disease in it. No one, no man, no woman, no child should ever have to drink green water with bugs, with algae, with disease in it. Bad water and a lack of toilets kills more people than all the wars in the world. We know how to bring clean drinking water right now to every single person on earth. And when you can bring water into communities, it truly transforms them. It changes everything. Right? You could know that you'd made a difference. You could know that you had truly impacted the life of a family, of a community, of a region. There was either clean water or there wasn't. We believe in a world where every single person has clean and safe water to drink, and we will continue fighting until that happens.
Okay, so thank you so much. If you donate, I really appreciate it. I want to give a shout out again to Joe Turner for coming all the way up here from Atlanta. Please visit his website, turnermagic.com, if you're looking for entertainment for your corporation or anything. He's available, and I would really appreciate your supporting him. Thank you to my daughter, Kirsten Ziegler, for running the live stream for me, and of course to Party Foul and Donaldson for hosting us here. Nobody has charged a thing for us to do this tonight. Everybody has donated their time, and I'm very grateful. What have I missed, Joe? Are you ready to go? Okay, we're ready to go. Thank you.
All right. Hey, round of applause for Sandy, everybody. She's the mastermind. She's the mastermind behind this whole thing. All right, it is time for me to show you one of my favorite pieces. Gosh, I love this. Some people say that this particular illusion goes back to ancient Egypt. So what is that, 4,000 or 5,000 years ago? A long time. I disagree. I think some earlier scholarship led people to that conclusion, but later, more recent scholarship shows that it doesn't really go back that far, but it goes back at least to ancient Greece. And every culture in the world since that time has had a version of this illusion. In fact, to this day, if you go to a football game or a baseball game, you'll see them play this game on the Jumbotron. Right? They'll move the cups around or the hats or whatever it is. And it's all based on this very old game called the cups and balls. This uses 3 copper cups. These are spun copper. You can see that they are solid and empty. Empty, completely solid, empty. This one's not completely solid. This one has a small trap door. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but it's just big enough for one of the other cups to pass through. But if I tighten it up, you can see that you're not buying that, are you? They're solid. They're just solid cups. We're just having a good time. But here's, it wouldn't be an interactive magic show if there wasn't some interaction. So here I have the 1, 2, 3, oh, it's Halloween. 3 little red crochet balls of death. Ooh, are you scared? I wrote that just for tonight. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We're going to give them names. We can name them after people you know, friends at work or school, people in the news, movie stars, literary characters, anybody you want. But we're going to give them names that you get to choose so that we can keep up with them. So we need a name for the first one. Kirsten, what should we call this first one? Samantha. Oh, I like the one. Samantha, like Elizabeth Montgomery or something. Samantha. Oh, Samantha. Very good. So if that's Samantha, then we need a name for this one. Ian, what's a good name for this one?
Skylar.
Skylar? Skylar with a K or a C-H-U-M? S-C-H-U-Y with a K. All right, Skylar. I thought it might be the Schuyler sisters from Hamilton. Okay, I'm sorry. I told you about my show tune thing earlier. So watch carefully. We need a name for the last one. Mona, what should we call this last one? Mackenzie. Blow Mackenzie a little kiss for me. Watch Mackenzie. We'll give her a little tap. Mackenzie disappears. She reappears back on the cup where she started only a moment ago. That is so weird. She's not supposed to be there. Mackenzie didn't go to rehearsal. So we'll take Mackenzie. And so there's Mackenzie and Skylar and Samantha, and that's the cups and balls. A pretty good experience right there. Would you agree? Merci. Thank you. Very good. Let's make this a little bit easier for you to follow. It's so complicated. 3 cups, 3 balls, 2 hands, 1 stick, plus I'm talking the whole time. So we're going to get rid of Samantha, and we're going to get rid of, what was this one? Mackenzie. Get rid of Mackenzie. And all you have to do is keep track of Skylar in the middle. Yeah, we're going to mix them up. Mix. You're not looking away at all, are you? I thought maybe at some point this might fool someone, but maybe, I don't know, maybe I snuck it by. Oh, I forgot the sexy part. Okay, very good. So if you had to guess now, would you say that Skylar is under cup number 1, cup number 2, or cup number 3? 3. Who says 1? Nobody. Who says 2? A few people. Who says 3? 3 is correct. I was trying to help. I told you I might sneak it by you. You never know. That being said, I would have accepted cup number 1 as the correct answer as well. If you thought Skylar was in the middle, that's actually Mackenzie and Samantha. I don't know what they're doing in there, but if I snap my fingers, Skylar joins them, which is so strange. There's Samantha, Mackenzie, and Skylar, the cups and balls. I've never had this complex of names before. Oh, thank you, Maria. Move to the table. For the big finish, we set up all this meandering one at a time stuff. We'll do them all at the same time. So we'll take 1, 2, and 3. They all go right into my pocket. All at the same time. Really? Now, if I just take the stick and tap the pocket and tap each cup 1 time, don't you think it would be impressive if those balls were back under there now?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I didn't even touch them. That would be great. I wish I could do it. There's no way I can do sleight of hand if I don't get to touch the stuff. So instead of sleight of hand, I'm going to resort to real magic, and that's where the fruit comes from. And we got some women's and lines of, oh, thank you very much. I would like everyone watching on Zoom, everyone watching on Facebook, everyone watching live, think of a 2-digit number. Think of a 2-digit number. I'm going to ask Kirsten to watch, and if anyone on Zoom or Facebook would throw out a 2-digit number, we will use their 2-digit number first. I want the people online to have an opportunity to contribute. I know that Facebook is on about a 30-second delay, so we're going to give it just a moment so that if anybody's watching, any number from 10 to 99, and I will say that if someone chooses a number that's close to the one you were going to choose, spread out a little bit so we can fill up the whole room. Okay, so we got a good range. Any numbers online? 21. 21. Any particular reason that that person chose 21? No? Okay. And we have an 83. Okay. 1983 was an interesting year. I don't know about 1921. I know we're all looking forward to 2021. How about an amen on that? I'm trying to hold this so you can see. Angle it down. So 2183. Someone over at this table had a number. Say it. 36. Oh, I like it. I like it. It's a multiple of 12, and that makes me comfortable for some reason. I don't know why. Did you choose 36 for a particular reason? Don't be telling that. Oh, don't tell any. The first thing you learn in the South is that when you meet a lady, you certainly never ask her how old she is. You just ask her how much she weighs. No, never do that. Never do that. Never do that. So we got 36. I need one more number. How about Joe? What's your number?
55.
55. I can't drive 55, but we'll put it on there. 55. So take a look at this. 21, 83, 36, and 55. That you created this total as a team. Does anyone in the room have a watch with a second hand on it? Do you have a watch with a second hand or a counting device or a stopwatch? Anyone? Anyone? Or just a good internal sense of rhythm? You can count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Oh, Gabe, have you got a stopwatch coming up? All right, so here's what's going to happen. You guys are going to give me 60 seconds. 60 American seconds, no metric, nothing. 60 American seconds. And we're going to see if I can fill in this grid in an amazing and entertaining way in 60 seconds. You're going to give me on your mark, get set, go.
On your mark, get set, go.
Very good. That was really good. Let's see if I can fill this in. I'm going to try not to repeat any numbers. No promises on that, but I will do my best to avoid it. Let's see, if I go to 1982 and try that, and let's try inhale it and stop. How many seconds was that?
28.25.
28.25. Ladies and gentlemen, in my rush to impress you all, I may have tried to go too fast. So in the remaining 32 seconds that I have, I reserve the right to try again if I blew it. That seems like a fair trade to me, right? Because I only used half my allotted time. So let's take a look. If we look at the first row across, 21 and 35 is 56. 56 and 4 is 60, and 50 is 110, and 85 is 195. Math people, right? You go very good. Let's look at the second row. 56 and 83 is 139, 140 and 22 is 162, and 165 and 30 is 195. Second row adds up to 195. Third row, 84 and 53 is 137, 143, 145, and 50 is 195. Last row, 34 and 24 is 58, 59, 60, 140, and 55 is 195. All 4 rows add up to 195 in 28 seconds. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? But wait, there is more. There is more. Because if we look at the first column, 21 and 56 is 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, and 4 is 85, and 110 is 195. Second column, 35, 83, 53, and 24 add up to 195. 54, 23, 36, and 82, 85, 33, 22, and 55. All 4 rows, all 4 columns add up to 195 in 28 seconds. That's a really nice round of applause, but it's not quite what I'm looking for. So let's go. If you look at the first quadrants, 21, 35, 83, and 56 add up to 195. 54, 85, 23, and 33, 84, 53, 34, 24. All 4 rows, all 4 columns, all 4. Oh yes, the center quadrant also adds up to 195. In fact, the amount of change I have in my pocket right now is $1.95. That would have been good, wouldn't it? That would have been great. But by the way, look, if you look at the opposite pairs on the side, 35, 54, 24, 82, those are 195. Those 2 and those 2 are 195. Those two and those two are 195. Those two and those two are 195. If you look at any tic-tac-toe board on the whole page and add the four corners, so like 21, 54, 36, and 84, that's 195. 83, 33, 55, and 24, that's 195. All four, oh, the diagonals, I forgot, that's 195. That's 195. All four rows, all four columns, all four quadrants plus the middle, both diagonals, opposite pairs, opposite diagonals, the four corners of the 3 by 3 matrices, and in fact, if you add the four corners of the whole dadgum thing, you get to 195, and we did it in 28 seconds. That's right, I went to Mississippi State University, and I can do Sudoku. It's fantastic. No, that's really fun. It's so interesting at this part of the show. All the guys are looking at this and like, that's really cool. And all the ladies are looking at this and they're like, Joe didn't really date in high school. And that's true. You can both be true. You're both correct. That's fine. But the reason I show you this, and we're getting close to the end. I have one last thing to share with you after this, but I want to talk to you about this. Because you guys created this goal for me at 195, right? You kind of handed it to me by the choices that you made. And we often have a goal. Sometimes it's a goal we've chosen, sometimes it's a goal we've been handed. But we have a palette of experiences and resources and gifts and talents and knowledge and things that we know how to do and people that we've met in our network. And we learn to put those together in some combination that will help us get to our goal. And then you lose your job and you're like, oh, well, I can't do that way anymore, but I still have my goal, right? I got to feed my family, I got to pay the bills, and I want to express myself through my art. We all have goals. So you look at what you got and you say, well, maybe I can find another way to add up what I've got at my disposal to get to my goal, right? And we do that for a while. And then, Congress or the state legislature or somebody passes a law somewhere that says, well, you can't add that one anymore. So you say, okay, well, that's gone, but now I can do this. I can still hit my goal. I've got these things I can do and I can hit my goal. And then, I don't know, a global pandemic hits the world and you can't do that anymore. And you say, okay, well then I will find a different way to get to my goal. And the reason I share that with you is that everyone who is fortunate enough to be in a room like this, in a city like this, on a night like this, watching a show like this, we are blessed beyond measure. We have so many advantages. If you have a computer or a phone or a tablet and you're able to watch this on Facebook or YouTube, you've got so many things going in your favor that I would just challenge you. In some ways, this has been a great year. We have learned new things about our families and our friends and our colleagues, and we've learned to make do maybe with a little bit less, which is never a bad thing. We've learned to do things in different ways, which is never a bad thing, to have more tools in the toolkit. So for all the challenges that this year has thrown us, I promise if you'll look at the overall set of experiences and gifts and talents and people that you've met this year, you will find that there's always a way. I'm convinced there's always a way to get to your goal. Look at what you got, look at who's around you, and if you find out that, oh, I've got 35, 83, and 24, but I don't have a 53, you know what's almost as good as having a 53 is knowing that you're missing a 53. If you can identify what's missing, that allows you to go get it, right? So that's a wonderful thing, is to know this is what I need, to be able to specify that's what I need, and you can hit your goal. I could talk about this for a long time because it means a lot to me. All of us have so many wonderful things at our disposal, and some people don't even have water. Some people can't. I have a cup of water over there, and I said, oh, I want it with this much ice and in a plastic cup and with a straw. And they just bring it to me like I just expect it. And there's people in this country, there's some people on this planet that can't even go to the well and get water. And you can help them by putting $1 on the internet. Why wouldn't you do that? I don't know why you would do that. I don't know. So my pastor he's retired now, but he would take something like this and he'd say, that'll preach a long time. Well, I'm not a preacher, and we don't have a long time, but I think you've got my message. So I just want you to remember how blessed you are, and then share one tiny piece of that with somebody who needs it. That's a great thing. We can all do that. So that's enough. Okay. Well, thank you. We got time for one more thing. Oh, it's so fun. I have to zoom in really close because this is close-up magic. I'm going to zoom this in. Oh my gosh, we're coming. In fact, I'm in so close that I'm sorry that you have to see me this close. That's how sorry. Look at that. Nobody should be forced to see that. But this is something beautiful. This is something beautiful. It's a very intimate illusion. And it uses just this, it's inside this tiny little cardboard box. Tiny little cardboard box. Big show, small finish, but it's worth it. Watch closely. It's held in there by this rubber band. Put that over there. And in this little cardboard box, I have 2 more cardboard boxes. Little match boxes. Nothing real fancy. Nothing real fancy. Let's push those out so you can see. They're empty. It's like you can see through there. In fact, I'm going to make it out like a telescope. See that? Can you see me in there? Completely empty, separate, solid. And the first time I saw this, it just bothered me. Because the guy he showed me this. He took those 2 matchboxes and lined them up as perfectly as he could, almost like there was no seam. And he put one matchbox in here. And he took the other one and put it in the other side. Then something very troubling happened. He pushed on that, and the other one came out. Now, I was a physics major, and I thought about this for a while, and I said, well, clearly, he was so meticulous about lining those up that the air pressure inside must be, he's holding it just right. So there's a seal of some kind, and it's pushing it through. So if he would just break that seal, then there would be no way that he could push on one cause the other one to come out. And I'll tell you, that bothered me, because he would take them and put them down on the table. You could see space underneath as he pushed one in, which doesn't seem fair at all. And I looked at this, and it reminded me that, he pushed in the one on the right, and the left went up. And he pushed in the one on the left, and the right went up. And it seemed like no matter what happened to one, it had some effect on the other. And it reminded me that we are all interconnected in ways that we cannot see or much less understand. But what happens to one always has an effect on the other. And that is why I like to close with this illusion, because we all have to learn to get along together and live in the same box. Thank you very much. And that concludes, let me zoom back out here and say good night. Thank you. That concludes tonight's program. Please make a donation to Charity Water. You can find information about that on livingplaynashville.com. Thank you to Sandy Ziegler and livingplaynashville.com for masterminding tonight's show, and to Charity Water for allowing us to use our talents to help them help others. And did you guys have a good time? Well, then, for crying out loud, how about liking our Facebook pages? That would be pretty cool. You can find Living Play Nashville on Facebook. You can find Joe M. Turner, speaker, entertainer, on Facebook. We'd love to have you like us, because that's how we measure our self-worth these days, is by how many likes we have on the internet. And if you would, check out turnermagic.com/tickets for my upcoming virtual shows. You'll have a lot of fun checking those out. And I will, do I need to turn it back over? I think we're done. That's going to conclude tonight's show. Thanks for being here with us. Good night.